Hi, you join me here again for part 5 at Willow Lake Fenland Fisheries, and I arrived about 30 minutes ago now, and the plans come together. I've got in a peg that I've never fished, but it was a peg that I wanted to be in desperately for this week's fishing, and yeah, it feels good. The plans come together. I had third pick, which means there was 3 people here before me. Didn't manage to get down here as early as I did last week. I had first pick last week, and I remember I was in, those who viewed it, I was in that corner peg right there, and now I wanted to get here. And in the first 3 weeks, I'll zoom in, I was over there on the Ashmire bank in peg 7 on the end reed peg there. So I'm getting about, but the bait's going in. I've had 8 kilo now, so they should be really getting a taste of it. And yeah, so let me explain why I chose this peg. A few reasons, in fact. One, it covers the central part of the lake. 2, on the Ashmire bank you get cut off by these 2 pegs casting long, and it's a bit frustrating. Like I said in I think it was part 3, there was guys just casting singles to the back of my spots trying to catch the fish that are feeding on my bait, which weren't really on. So yeah, so I decided to come here. This way no one can cut me off, and I'm always also going to swing left, so I'm not actually going to fish right. I'm going to stick left with this cold northerly pushing through, and it is freezing, by the way. So we've had tropical weather for the last couple of weeks, and it's freezing. We're due a couple of flash frosts, so yeah, it's going to get nippy tonight, and that wind's freezing, by the way. But I feel good. I feel pretty confident we can pinch a bite or 2. I was right to get in that peg down there because I managed to pinch 2 bites last week. And well, let me fill you in for what's happened while I've been here. So there was a few guys, well, 4 guys in fact, who were doing 4 nights. And so I come back down last night, and the lake was fully booked, 7 on. I was speaking to them. They've had 1 fish between them. And so 1 fish between the whole lake since I left last week. So I'm clearly doing something right, and if you guys think I'm absolutely talking rubbish, you're welcome to ring Fenland Fisheries and see what's coming out. It's fishing moody as hell, and I'm still not blanked. So I'm going to try and stay consistently effective this session and catch again, as I always try to do, and try and get a 30 on the bank would be lovely. I've already got here. I'm not in so much of a rush to get the rods out today, but I got here straight away. That bucket was full, so that's 10 litres straight in the lake, and that consisted of the enzyme, the red one prototype, 30% of that, 70% enzyme, and some hemp, maize, and a few trout pellets. And that's where we're at for that. So I put a nice little mix out there today. And the reason why I put, it might sound like a lot of bait, but that is over all 3 rods. And basically the cats have been annoying the life out of everyone. Everyone's catching cats. So I wanted to put enough out there to feed the cats off to a certain extent, and make sure there's still enough out there for when Mr. Carp comes along and hopefully gets on the spot. But also, I will add that the carp haven't had a good feed now for 2 weeks. So apart from myself catching, I think there's only been 4 other carp out in the last 18 days, apart from what I've caught. So it's fishing really moody. So you can imagine I've had 11 fish now on my own in 4 weeks, and in those 4 weeks it's probably done 5 fish between the other 6 anglers every night of the week. So very happy with this. I've caught more than the rest of the lake has in the last 4 weeks combined. So yeah, I'm going to stay persistent. This possibly is my last session on here. I might get down for an overnight or this following Sunday, hoping to get back in this peg on old bait, but we'll see. But we're going to treat this as the last session, as part 5, because I think it's time to get down bluebell now and have a little dabble on swan. There you go, one just surfaced there, and it was actually a big cat. That's not good. I looked about 30-40 pounds. Yeah, so I feel like everything's worked out this week. There's a couple of guys that just jumped in there, so they're not going to be no problem. Old matey across from me, he doesn't look like he's going to be much of a problem. So I'm not going to have anyone interfering with my fishing, and that goes a long way on these day ticket waters. So we'll see what happens. Obviously we're still in a bad moon phase. The fish are still not really having it in my eyes. Well, clearly I was right, because I warned the guys 2 weeks ago and they've still not switched on. And but yeah, so I've gone against the grain. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out. Usually I've got a plan, but the plan was just literally just to get this peg, and when I got here the plan changed just to fill it in basically. If in doubt, fill it in. No, I'm joking, don't usually do that. Don't everyone do that, but it just feels right. And they're all backing off the pressure at the minute. The fish are really sketchy at the minute. They're moving away from spoms, they're moving away from, you know, patches of bait. So I thought I'm going to create a super spot out there, and it is probably about 30 foot long. I'm keeping the rods 10 foot apart this session. I wanted a real big spot to really spread the lines out, because they're really spooky at the minute. So I've created a huge area, and I'm going to put 3 rods spread right across it, all on one spot this time. I feel that's right for this weather and this peg. I feel that can make maybe a bite happen, but we'll have to wait and see. And I'll leave you with that for now. I'm going to get the house up because we are due rain, storms and frost, so we're a bit of everything while we're here. But I'm looking forward to it as always. I'm excited, I'm raring to go, hence why I got the bait in immediately. I made all the disturbance now, and the spawn will not be coming back out. I put all my bits and pieces in now, and like I say, they're really backing off the spawn now. They've been hammered already. It's April and they've already been hammered in here. So I'm going for the old throwing stick approach now. After every fish I'm going to put 20 baits out over the rod. They can't eat all the crumb and bits and pieces that's out there anyway, so there's still always going to be something left in the peg while I'm here. So I'm going for the old throwing stick in the dark when the gulls can't see it. And that's my approach for this week, and we'll see what happens. I'll see you in a bit. Wow, how nice does it feel? I'm all settled in, had the rods in for about 30 minutes now. Really nice and comfortable, this peg, super comfy. Plenty of space for casting. House. Extremely comfy, everything's sort of put away now. Got my little mat there just to sit on and watch the water, because it is quite stony. And then the traps. All set, looking beautiful as usual. Absolutely spot on. All casts went out free first time, all 3 bang on the spots. Looking forward to it. I've found some nice spots out there. I've moved to the left of the original spot by about 20 yards, and I'm not actually fishing any of the rods on the original spot, and we'll see how this pans out. And just while we're on this subject as well, I'll just look behind me. Don't know if you can see, but there's storm 1 that we've just missed. But yeah, well, we're just about to catch the side of it. But up there it's been lovely and sunny. It's still freezing in that cold northerly wind. But you can see up there, around to there. Just heard it on the weather. The storm already started. Right back over there you can't see on the camera, but it's very moody, very dark. Very dark. You can almost see it raining from all this way away. Jet black clouds, jet black. And it looks like we might just catch the side bit of it actually. I thought we'd missed the first wave of it, but things are looking a bit bleak this side actually, and we are due for a lot of heavy rain this evening. A bit of thunder and lightning. Looking really moody up there. But it looks like we are going to, oh, we might not catch it actually, because it's pushing west-northwest. And as you see, that's just swiping across us. We ain't had any rain at the minute. I'm sure we will do in the near future. But the main thing is, back to the rods. Grab a seat on my comfy little mat. Oh. Yeah, so I'm pretty hungry. I'll just put that out there. I've only just eaten my first sandwich about half an hour ago. I haven't eaten today. I've been up with the kids and done a school run. All 3 kids and my niece, 4 kids. And so eager to get here. I've had so much running around to do. I can't believe I still managed to get here and get this peg. So definitely a bit of determination there and dedication to get here. Still early. I'm bouncing around the place from petrol station to the shop, Tesco's, to dropping the kids off, to, you know, and then dropping my baby off with my nan because the missus is out. It's just been an all-round nightmare, but it's all happened, and I'm here, and I'm in the peg I wanted to be last week. If I had to choose a peg last week, I always sort of roughly choose an area the week before. I think, you know, and if I come up with a bit of a game plan and think, you know, if I can get in that area, there's a good chance. It's all about trying to be one step ahead of these carp. Carp are usually one step ahead of us, but not me. I'm one step ahead of carp. And we'll see if it pays off. Like I say, I've absolutely filled it in. 10 litres of bait. I don't know what it is in kilo. I'm guessing there's about 2.5 kilo of boilie. And lots of other bits and pieces. Hemp, maize and corn and that. And we'll see what happens. They haven't fed for a while now, not properly. Last 2 times I've been here, I haven't seen any really true feeding signs. They're not binging. No one else is catching at all. But we'll see tomorrow morning. I think they should be here tomorrow morning. And if they are, I'll get a bit of video footage hopefully. But yeah, it is sweeping across. Come on, hope it misses us just. Oh, it looks really bad over there. It's really bad. Look at that. I love it though. Bring on the storm. Yes. I ain't had a storm for a while. Last storm I was in winter. And no storm when you're in winter is nice because you're cold enough as it is. Bring on the storm and bring on the fish. Right, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to kick back now and finally have a cup of tea and a bit more food. And refuel my body. And we'll see what happens. See you in a bit. Well, this looks like it'll be the last update for this evening. We're heading into darkness on the first evening now, probably about 15 minutes before the camera can no longer see, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. I've lost a catty already, believe it or not, after an hour and a half of having the rods in, the middle rod. Tore off out there. And just a hook pulled after about 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. I wouldn't have minded to get it in, it felt like a bigger catty. I don't mind catching a big cat along the way. I ain't had one for about 18 months now. Although we're here targeting the carp, I won't say no to a giant cat. Bit of action, they do fight crazily hard. It's turning into a lovely evening. It's still crazily cold, but I've seen a few shows also, so things are looking hopeful. So I hope this little technique I'm doing works to the left of the peg. I have seen 3 shows to the right, dead out there. It's hard not to move one of my rods, but I'm just going to stick to my guns on another show there. That was about 12 yards to the right of my spot, so they're getting closer. But I thought I'd let them feed on all the old bait out there, and when they finished it, and got their confidence up. Hopefully they'll move to my bait, which is a giant mega patch, and hopefully I'll pick one off. What's that on the water? I think there's another show just behind that coot. I've got a nice bit of light come through now I'm zoomed in. Just scour the lake and show you about. No carp, nothing really happening in there. Just seen 3 or 4 shows out in between me and old matey across the way there. Nothing along the Ashmire bank, and seen no signs of carp along where I was fishing last week. So turns out I'm right and I'm bang on the money. So the only place I've seen fish is in front of me. So hopefully it'll pay off. Bit of knowledge, bit of watercraft, and might get me that extra bite. But yeah, it's going to get dark shortly. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea now and stick the spaghetti bolognese on. Got some pasta cheese and like meatballs and pasta sauce sort of thing, well, bolognese sauce. Treat myself this tonight. Gonna go all out. But it's freezing, and so I'm going to put the camera down because my hands are so cold right now, it's unreal. And I'm going to get tucked up. I'll see you later on tonight for an update, or if it's quiet, I'll see you in the morning hopefully. And there you go, the first morning, and I can safely say now I've well and truly cracked the code here at Willow. There's no two ways about that. So happy days, 2 fish. Still only got 1 rod. I thought I'd give you a quick minute update. It's not going to be long, so I'm going to get the rods back out on the money. And you couldn't have wrote a book better than what's happened this morning. The fishing and retainer went about half an hour ago, and it was freezing cold. It's still freezing now. It's only 3 degrees, although the sun's out. It's the coldest day we've had for well over a month. But then stopped the fish, bang on the money. I don't think anyone else has caught. I also had 2 catfish in the night and lost one. So it's been a crazy night's fishing. I've enjoyed it. Lots of casting about. I even had a fish off the spot as well. One of the catties. I recast a showing fish and the bloody cat took it. There was carp showing on it, I'm pretty sure, but then 2 this morning, half an hour gap, and this little beaut went as well. Another epic battle. Looks a nice fish. And she's woke up. I'll let her chill out. There she goes. Right, so I'm going to get the rods back out, and you'll be seeing me shortly, I guess. See you in a bit. Hi guys, here's part 1 of this morning's actions, and what a stunning fish it is. Well, finally the sun's come out and warming the place up a little bit. Look at that. Stunner. I haven't weighed this one. I should imagine anywhere from 18 to low 20 mark. I've got a bigger one in the retainer, so we'll see that one shortly. But what a stunning fish though. Got a right little pair of shoulders on it. More than happy with that. Hopefully we'll tap into one of a few of the bigger gals. But the rods are back out on the spots. Both rods went out first time, so still every chance of pinching another bite this morning. But for now, I'm going to get this little baby back. Thank you very much. Just seen the rod slowly tighten off. Typical big fish bite really. It fought like a big fish, but when I seen it, I thought I knew what size it was. But big shoulders on it, so at first I was like, what, shoulders? But then I seen it, I was like, oh, it's one of them little low 20s or 18 pounders. But we're going to get onto the bigger fish now. This one looks like a real leathery kind, and we're going to have a look at her now. Here's number 2. I really am so grateful to be getting these bites. I never take any bite for granted. I think in carp fishing it's generally quite hard to get bites all the time usually. But after a while, when you've been fishing years like me, you learn to crack the code and get more bites. And it's an overwhelming feeling. Every bite's a special bite, every fish could be that one special fish. Finally cracked the code. Real nice long fish this. Long male. Definitely bigger than the last. I think we're going to give this one away actually. Real black leather old thing. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this one goes actually. Let's have a quick way of her. She's not a giant. Yeah, a bit bigger than I first thought actually. £26. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. That other one must have been a low 20 then I think. Really nice fish, long, jet black this one. Leather skin. Male fish. Beautiful colours. Real torpedo this one, real long fish. Wow. So 2 20s in one morning on a lake that's done 2 fish in 5 nights throughout the whole lake. Happy days. I knew I'd be on fish today. Like I said, I'm one step ahead of the carp. And I'm going to try and get her up and have a look if she lets me. Right, let's see. Let me get her up. Low to the mat, let him have a gentle flip, more water, hopefully she'll calm down. This is a real stunning fish. I think this could be one of the original old ones, looks like an original, it's black like the originals are. The originals are definitely longer and thinner and more torpedo like. Like I say, this looks like a male fish as well. Lovely gold colours. Look at that. Lovely. Bit of morning sun in April. Coldest weather we've had for a long time, and it seems to have switched the fishing on for me again. Love it. One epic looking leather carp. Yes. First leather of the year. What a way to do it, a real long torpedo black fish. Stunning. This is long enough to be a 30, this fish. Without a doubt, if this had a small belly on it, I'm sure it would have gone every bit of 30 pound. But who cares? Good mouth on it. Oh, what a stunner. Just love catching them like this, it's just epic, it really is. Beautiful. I want to show you the other side. The other side's pretty much the same. I don't keep it too much longer. But just in case she's got a few marks, I'll recognise her. If I do ever catch her again. The fish are now clean of parasites, which means they've done their fair share of cleaning over the last 4 weeks. I'm so happy to have caught this one. Another original on the bank. Just love how long and lean they are. It's epic. Get you up, girl. There you go. Long, lean torpedo machine. Felt a bit of fish. This one felt a good fish. Epic run. And I was right. Like I say, this is long enough to be a 30 easily, this fish. And I'm just so made up with this fish. I don't care what happens now. I've still got another night and today and tomorrow left. And I've already had a brace of 20s. Oh, happy days. Right, I'm going to slip this baby back. And I'll be speaking to you lot in a bit. So it's about 9 o'clock now, and I just had a little bit of a bad feeling about the left hand rod. That's the only one I hadn't recast today. That one went out last night after a catfish. Pulled it in and it was tangled. So happy days, pulled that rod in. I'm trying to juggle the rods about a bit to make the least disturbance as possible. I only like to generally cast sort of one lead at a time if I can help it. Once I'm fishing, I try and sort of stagger them in as I'm getting them in, so it's not too much disturbance all at once. So I'm going to move these 2 rods over now, and then I'm going to recast this one back out as a single towards the right. So I'm bringing the leftist rod to the very left of the peg, to the very right of the peg. Well, actually just more dead out straight in front. So I'm going to have it out there as a little single with a little bag on. I'm just going to keep these 2 on the spot, and I might move one back later if I see fish start showing on the feeding spot. For now, I'm going to put the single out there and then have 2 on the spot, and we'll see what happens then. Perfect. Oh, snippy, snippy. So I don't know if you caught that, just as I cast the rod out, fish showed right on top of, well, right where I put this lead. So my feelings were right anyway, so literally, I don't know if you see it, it could come right out, 20-pound carp, head rolled right out, and I basically landed it more or less exactly spot on where it was, and it went down pretty nice. I went out a little bit further than I was fishing, just on that one rod as a single, just a small bag, and we'll see what happens this afternoon. So I've got 2 on the baited spot now, and then that one sorted to the right as a single. I think I've got every aspect covered, and that's all we can do for now. Happy days. Now then, I'm going to whip that middle rod in now and change it for a white pop-up. Bit risky because there's still a few fish in the area, but I don't know why I'm going to do it. It just feels right. It's like I say, it's a bit of a risk. I've got to get it out first time to stop spooking the area, but I don't need to. The trap is set perfectly. It can do bites. It's my faithful rig, but I'm going to risk it all, bring that one in and put a little white 12mm enzyme pop-up on there, and we'll see if it pays off. See you in a bit. The alarm's going mental. Can't even do anything, there's no way I'm going out there in this. It is battering it down. Absolutely battering it down. Hail. A lot of hail in this as well. Bit of hail, bit of rain. Oh God. Loving it. See you in a bit. Well, you can see the sun setting fast now behind the trees there. Just about dawn. It'll be dark in the next 15-20 minutes. And I don't know if you can tell by the sound of my voice, not very happy. Lost a big fish about half an hour ago. Good, it's definitely a carp as well, it's a really big carp. Just cut my line. I know it must be, I've never fished this peg before, and in the past 4 weeks while I've been here on this lake, I've been watching people fish this peg, and they just keep getting good runs and losing the fish, and obviously from where I am it just looks like they're getting hook pulls or whatnot, but all my line, I'm fishing 17-pound line, and it was all cut and grated, and obviously it just cut through it like a knife through butter. So that poor fish has got away with a rig and 20 yards of line. Lucky the lead and that should be all off safely, but I've just seen the owner, Mike, just walked round. I said to him there's a snag 2/3 of the way out in front of this peg, so what they decide to do about it is up to them, I guess, but you don't want to be getting fish tethered up. That's not good. Poor little devil. I know, as soon as I hit the rod I had a good hook hold, I felt it all. definitely a big carp. It was a big carp. It was one of the big girls. I'm just so gutted. Wait here all day, all through the rain and the storms and everything. Just for that one bite, then that happens. Out of my control. Nothing I can do about it. But you'll see what I've done. I've moved the rod on the right, of the peg. I've moved it 2 meters to the right and really tightened the line on that rod now. And I've lifted the rod in the air more. I think I might even put it in the air a bit more than that. Just so on the take, I'm fishing locked up on that rod basically as well, and I'm fishing the lead to come off straight away so the fish comes up in the layers. Hopefully it'll get it away from that mussel bed as quick as possible, if it is a mussel bed. It's definitely something that's razor sharp out there. Either way, it's a snag and it's cutting people off, and there's fish getting tethered up here. It's not good. But other than that, I guess I'm still looking forward to tonight and thinking positively I'm going to get a bite or two. I might be too confident, but who knows. Obviously I've had 3 bites this session, well 3 carp bites and a couple of cats or whatnot. So confidence is at its highest. I'm just a little bit upset about that big fish. Definitely a big carp. There's no way I can convince myself it's a cat or a 20. It's one of the big ones without a doubt. End of. So I'm just going to have to get over it and move on. So there. But I'll speak to you in a bit. I'm going to drown my sorrows with a cup of tea, and hopefully might even see you before dark with a fish. But if not, I should imagine it'll be tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. See you in a bit. Right then guys, so have a bit of a chat this morning about last night's antics. Not much good news to report on, except for the fact I had a 70 to 80 pound catfish at half full this morning. It was colossal. Hour and a half fight in minus conditions, and we're in April as well. It shot down to 0. So yeah, you thought it would put the catfish off, but it didn't. I had that giant beast. It was humongous. It was like nearly 2 meters long. It was a crazy looking fish. But apart from that, I spoke to you last night. I lost that good carp just before dusk. Bit upset about that still, but you know, you've got to move on. Can't dwell on things with carp fishing. It only dampen the spirits of things. So we've got about 4 hours left, and I've done something I usually wouldn't do. I've moved all the rods, well all bar one. The left hand rod you can see on the left hand side of the peg is the only one that's going straight out. That's still the same. The other 2 rods I've moved to the right. I put one in at about 13.5 wraps, and I put the other one out at 17.75 wraps, and both to the right of the peg where I've seen the odd showing fish and that. There's not been much action to the left. So yeah, I've just finished doing the rods. Both them rods have been recast in the last sort of 15 minutes. I've got 3 hours left, so we'll see what happens. I've got the white pop up on the right hand rod close in, and enzyme boilie further out, and we'll see what happens. So we're in with a chance still. You don't know. It looks good for a day bite today, and it has been doing day bites over the last month or so. And the pressure's dropped a bit, and everything's looking bang on really. I can't believe it hasn't happened this morning, but it just hasn't. But not just for me, for no one. The lake just feels very different today. But all in all, I'm happy. I think I managed 6 bites all in all. Obviously lost that big carp. I think I lost another cat. Landed 2 cats and landed 2 carp. So 4 fish on the bank, but that catfish was colossal. To be fair, yeah, it sort of bit through my rig in the net finally, and so yeah, I just sort of let that one go. But it was colossal. It was huge. It took me 10 attempts to swipe it in the net, and I finally managed to fold it in. It was more than a foot across width on his head. But all in all, 2 cats, 2 carp. Last session, it would have been nice to finish up. I'm almost certain the fish I lost was one of the big girls. I knew I was going to get a bite of one of the big girls this session, and it was just whether I could get it in or not. Sadly, there's someone out there that enjoys shredding people's line, made it perfectly observant to the owner Mike now, so he knows it's there, and hopefully in the future people won't keep getting cut off, because it's not good for the fish whatsoever. But all in all, I'm happy. 26-pound leather carp, old original fish, 20 plus years old. Got to be happy with that. And then another little low 20, still bites, still more than happy with that. Beautiful little carp it was. You never know, there's still chance of finishing off on a high. But part 5 is finally done and dusted on Willow, and I'm going to move on to Swan. So when you see me next, I'll be back on Bluebell fishing for that 50. So we're stepping it up for as the year gets later. First of all was fishing for 20s, then we moved on to 30s, then we were here on Willow fishing for 40s, and now we're going to go fish for the extreme big ladies, the 50 pounders. So I'm looking forward to that, I can't wait. But I'm going to leave you with that, and be lucky on the bank, and I'll see you when I see you. And if you get updated for me again, it'll be with a fish. Other than that, I'll see you back on Bluebell. See you in a bit.